This generator is by Champion. It's a digital hybrid with quiet technology. It has 8,750 watts peak, 7,000 watts continuous. It's a DH series open frame inverter with electric start. And I can tell you that there is only one reason, primary reason. There's many other reasons. I'll get into that throughout the course of this video, but there's only one main reason why I purchased this generator. And that is because of the inverter inside of it. It's a pure sine wave inverter. That means that the electricity and power that is being produced by this will be 60 hertz. And pure sine wave inverters are very good for sensitive electrical equipment. Some examples of said equipment would be modern refrigerators, even modern boilers and furnaces. They all come with circuit boards that can oftentimes be sensitive. And you'll often find, if you read through these manuals or if you talk to the manufacturers, they will straight up tell you. For example, I have a boiler by Wheel McLean, and I called them up and I spoke to them. I'm like, I have this generator here, not this one, the one I had previously, but I have a generator, and I would like to know if it would be okay for me to run this generator and power the boiler. And they told me that it is okay, so as long as it's a pure sine wave inverter generator, because you run the risk of burning out the circuit board on that boiler if you do not have a pure sine wave inverter. So that's enough talk on that. I just thought it was very important because I actually had to purchase this generator because I found out the one I just purchased was not pure sine wave. So I don't want you to make the same mistake, so I wanted to get that out of the way. Now let's move on to the specifications of the generator, moving from the top down. Right here we have the gas intake. It has a chain. It also has a screen cup to catch debris if it were to fall in so it does not make its way into the gas tank. You have your gas gauge here. You have your quick start instructions. You have all your specification stickers here. What to do, what not to do. Right here is how you move the device. There's a handle. You lift up and it allows you to wheel it. On the left hand side you have your crank start right here. On the right hand side, you have your oil drainage, which is actually a tube. That is very interesting. That's the first time I've ever seen this. It's a detachable tube. And that's where you drain the oil. And right here is the oil intake, where you fill up the oil. This is the exhaust, and right here is the front panel. You have your power switch. You have your eco mode. Here's your choke. Here's your indication lights to tell you if there's a problem. AC reset button. Your IntelliGauge digital display. 12 volts charging. You have your covered outlets. GFCI 120 volts. There's two more. And you have your 30 amp plug for hooking up to the house. These buttons are for resetting. There's one here, and one here. That's to reset the circuit. Right below the interface, you have the battery. So I haven't run this in quite some time, and I always like to check and make sure that the oil level before I start it. So I figured I'd just show you this real quick. This is the dipstick. And the trick with this is you want to aim the dipstick. You want to aim the oil level to be in the middle of that. And when you go to stick the dipstick back in, you do not want to screw it in. Per instructions manual. So yeah, it's a little bit lower than halfway, but it's perfectly fine because for this video I will also be draining the oil. And we just need to get this warmed up to churn up all this stuff in the engine. So I'm going to start this, and we are going to let this run for half an hour, and then I will get back with you and show you how to drain the oil out of this. So what's really cool is that this pipe attaches, and this is how you drain your oil. Operating manual states 1.2 quarts. So, and I even called up there just to double check with the manufacturer Champion, and they stated SAE 10 weight 30 is perfectly fine for this. And I've even ran SAE 10 weight 30 in the winter time when I lost power, and this generator had no problems. So you just unscrew the cap, then you stick the tube where the intake is for the oil. You see how much I have in this. It's right at the 3-quart mark. Still have a long ways to go. All right, so now that the oil is changed, I'm going to quickly demonstrate how to start this generator. Then I'm going to move the camera back a decent distance, and I'm going to switch back and forth between the eco mode and the regular mode. So hopefully the microphone on this camera will pick up the sound difference. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to turn on the shutoff valve. The shutoff valve is right here, and there's a sticker that tells you the orientation of the switch from which it will be either in the on or off position. So I want to make sure that the gas is flowing. So I flip the switch. The next step I'm going to take is I want to make sure and pull the choke out 1 or 2 notches, and then push the up part of this switch to start the generator.